live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across your world, it's your national news broadcast on Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
The President says that a sound economy that does not lead the people towards a struggle again will be established in the island. The first hotel with elevator bridge opens in Sri Lanka. The Iranian President stresses that there is no barrier to expand relations between Sri Lanka and Iran. Former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa rejects the allegations levelled against him regarding the Easter Sunday attacks. Duminda Disanayaka has been appointed as the Acting General Secretary of the SLFP. The youth who jumped over the Sripada Udamalua has been taken into police custody. Ukraine has started using long-range ballistic missiles.
We now move on to those and other stories in detail, and let's take a look at local news first. President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed his dedication to fostering an economic landscape in the nation that would prevent future struggles among its citizens.
Emphasizing the swift reconstruction of the economy within a mere 2-year span, he underscored his resolve to elevate the standard of living by fortifying the economy's resilience. The President made these remarks today during the ceremonial opening of the ITC Ratnadeepa Hotel. Located in the Golf-Face Green, this luxurious hotel marks the first venture outside India by the ITC Hotel Group.
India and Sri Lanka, of course, have very rich and long-standing relations, cultural, religious, linguistics, and of course, a growing economic relationships in trade and commerce. And I think, Excellency, under your leadership and Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji in India, I think this relationship has been taken to the next level and offers immense opportunities for both the economies to leverage complementarities and create greater value for the economy and the nations.
I'm really delighted to be present at the opening of the ITC Ratnadeep Hotel in Colombo. I'd like to thank His Excellency, the President of Sri Lanka, the Honorable Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, and other distinguished guests for gracing this occasion. Friends, one remarkable change that I saw on my first arrival in Sri Lanka in December 2023, compared to when I left Sri Lanka in 2010 at the end of my previous assignment, has been the impressive skyline that has developed opposite the iconic Golf-Face Green. And I'm delighted that an Indian investment had also contributed to it. The ITC Ratnadeep indeed adds to the beauty of the skyline opposite the Golf-Face Green. It is not only one of the biggest investments by an Indian firm in Sri Lanka, but is also one that is emblematic of India's commitment to Sri Lanka. Through thick and thin, having been built through a very difficult period of COVID pandemic and the economic crisis in Sri Lanka. India has been the leading economic partner of Sri Lanka. We are the largest trade partner of Sri Lanka, the largest source of FDI in recent years. And since we are here at the opening of a hotel in Colombo, I must add that India is also the largest contributor to tourist traffic into Sri Lanka. I'm sure that hotels such as ITC Ratnadeep, will help Sri Lanka attract more tourists and in turn more hotel and tourism-related investments in this country.
Welcome ITC to Sri Lanka. Your Ratnadeepa has come to the resplendent island. So, on this occasion, we are all pleased to be here at this moment when the ITC Ratnadeepa has joined the golden mile of tourism. Here you have the first 5-star hotel in Asia. From there, the golf face. You have another of your colleagues from India, Taj. From Singapore, we have Shangri-La. And here the tallest of them all is ITC. And in the background is Cinnamon Life. This represents the Sri Lankan hotel industry. Sri Lankans have also made their brand. So there are 2 Sri Lankan hotels. India is the one that started tourism hotels here long ago when Oberoi came to Sri Lanka, the first city hotel. So there are 2 from India and 1 from Singapore. I don't think you can ever get an iconic site like this in any part of Asia. I have no doubt that this will become a symbol of Colombo and Colombo's tourism. I have no doubt that this icon will help to increase tourism into Sri Lanka, more particularly from India. Now, these are part of the vision statement which Prime Minister Modi and I signed last year. How do we integrate our economies and bring it closer? We in India is now one of the rising giants, economic giants, and we in Sri Lanka, which is in a crucial location for logistics and next to India, can also now join in the process. So tourism is certainly one of the items that will be coming in here, and I have no doubt that for many Indians, Sri Lanka will be the appropriate place to spend a holiday. In time to come, it will be easier for a person in Bangalore or Chennai or Hyderabad to jump into a plane and come here than go to the northern part of India. So there is no doubt people come in and go out. And I think the economic background, convertibility, the Indian rupees, all have now been laid.
Iranian President Dr. Ebrahim Raisi says that there is no limitation or barrier in expanding political, economic, trade and cultural ties between Iran and Sri Lanka. The Iranian leader made these remarks following the bilateral talks held in Colombo yesterday, expressing views in this occasion. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the global South countries should be built under their own strength.
The Iranian president arrived in the island yesterday for an official tour from the Mattala airport. The Iranian leader and the delegation were welcomed by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and a group of ministers and parliamentarians. Later, they participated in the inaugural opening of the Umayyah Multipurpose Development Project. It provides water to cultivate 6,000 hectares of agricultural lands throughout the year. It generates 120 megawatts of electricity. Iran has granted funds worth $50 million for this project, and the construction work was carried out by the Farab Company of Iran. The official state ceremony to welcome the Iranian leader was held at the Presidential Secretariat premises last evening. The Army Guard of Honor was also offered for the Iranian leader. 5 memorandum of understandings were also signed yesterday with the aim of strengthening bilateral relations between Sri Lanka and the Islamic Republic of Iran. The agreements were signed before President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Iranian President Dr. Ebrahim Raisi. An MOU to enhance cooperation between the national libraries of the 2 states was also signed by Minister Dr. Susil Premchand and Iranian Minister Dr. Mohammad Ismaili. Meanwhile, Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena and Iranian Minister Dr. Mohammad Ismail signed an agreement to enhance the cooperation of the film industry between Sri Lanka and Iran. The MOU to strengthen the cooperation of mass media and tourism sectors between Iran and Sri Lanka was signed by Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena and Iranian Minister Ali Akbar Mehrabian. An agreement for the cultural, scientific and technical cooperation between the two countries was also signed by Ministers Ali Sabri and Iranian Minister Dr. Mohammad Ismaili. The MOU for the enhancement of cooperation in the cooperative sector was signed by the Chairman of National Cooperative Board, GD Sarat Veerasiri, and Iranian Minister Dr. Mohammad Ismaili. After the bilateral talks, the two leaders issued statements.
To thank the Islamic Republic of Iran not only for extending a financing for the Umayyad project, but also sharing their know-how in the fields of engineering and technology. We have jointly handed over the benefits of this project to the people of the area. I wish to congratulate the people of the Islamic Republic of Iran on their remarkable achievements in other sectors such as science and technology, agriculture, and power generation, which are essential requirements in the modern world. I am pleased that the Umayyad project declared open is a symbol of the cooperation between the two countries in the realm of power generation, irrigation and water management, an example of cooperation in this field between the countries of the Global South. During our cooperation, I extended an appreciation for the support provided by the government of Islamic Republic of Iran to the debt restructuring process of Sri Lanka following the economic crisis last year. I also conveyed to President Raisi the recent economic stabilization and recovery in Sri Lanka, and President Raisi has expressed his confidence in Sri Lanka's future progress and prosperity. We are very pleased that both countries continue to work closely in the multilateral and regional fora, including at the United Nations and at other groupings such as NAM G77 and the Indian Ocean Rim Association. I am also pleased that Sri Lanka and Iran stand united in our pursuit of peace, security and prosperity, not only for the region, but for all over the world through diplomacy and discussion. We share the serious concerns on the critical situation in the occupied Palestinian territory and the immense suffering of the Palestinian people. Sri Lanka and Iran recognizes the legitimate and inalienable right of the people of Palestine to statehood. Sri Lanka remains committed to supporting a just and comprehensive negotiated political settlement to the Palestinian issue in line with the relevant UN resolutions leading to the two states living side by side based on the 1967 borders.
خرسندم از اینکه امروز در کشور
I'm very pleased, Mr. President, to be able to visit the friendly country of Sri Lanka and to find this opportunity accompanying my collaborators to be in this country. In fact, today a great project has been completed in Sri Lanka upon the knowledge and expertise and high-tech of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Regarding this multi-purpose project, we established very good cooperation between our two countries. This was not a normal project. This project was done with high tech, and it was created by the knowledge and expertise of the Iranian experts for the sake of the welfare of the beloved people of Sri Lanka. Today, we established very good rounds of negotiations and discussions with Mr. President, as well as my team and his team. We agreed to continue and further consolidate our bilateral relations in political, economic, trade, cultural, agriculture, tourism, scientific, as well as technological sectors for the sake and benefit of our two nations and countries. A number of good potentials and capacities exist both in the Islamic Republic of Iran and the friendly country of Sri Lanka, and I personally believe that sharing and transferring these capacities and potentials mutually between our two countries would benefit our two countries, our two nations, and our two regions. So today with Mr. President, we agreed that at the level of Ministers of Foreign Affairs to hold the next round of the Joint Commission for Economic Cooperation between our two countries as soon as possible in order to review and study different mechanisms for further expansion of economic, trade, agriculture, science and technology cooperation between our two countries as soon as possible.
During his tour, Iranian leader participated in prayers at the Jummah Mosque in Kolupitia. Later, he joined a mutual gathering organized at the mosque. Concluding the tour, Iranian leader and the delegation left the island last night. Minister Ali Sabri and State Minister Tharaka Balasurya were present at the airport to bid farewell to the Iranian leader.
In more local news, State Minister Dr. Ranjit Singh Belapitiya says that the government has focused its fullest attention for the decrease of interest rates of the fixed deposits of senior citizens. Now, the State Minister attributed these setbacks to the difficulty of granting money to the relevant banks due to the existing economic downturn. The Minister made these remarks addressing the Parliament today. Meanwhile, several gazette notifications relevant to the Motor Traffic Department were also presented in the House today. Opposition leader Sajid Premadas said that there are about several millions of pensioners in the island. They were provided with 15% interest for their fixed deposit as a relief. The rate has now reduced up to 7 to 8% or lesser than that at present. State Minister Dr. Ranjit Singh Belapitiya said that to pay a 15% interest rate for the fixed deposits of senior citizens, the government had to spend 80 billion rupees per year. This amount should be allocated from the state income. This is mainly earned through taxes and levies. The government's expenditure has increased in every aspect, such as paying Aswasuma salaries of public servants and pensioners and so on. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that according to the new Central Bank Act, at least a rupee cannot be minted, although the Parliament insisted. Under the foreign debt restructuring, the government can pay only 37% of the entire debts during the next 5 or 6 years. 51% of the foreign debts can be paid in another 20 years. According to the current system, about $6 billion are needed to pay per year to repay foreign debts. The government is holding talks with the relevant creditors to pay back the loans in a sustainable manner. During this period, the government will have to pay at least $3 billion per year. Forgetting the situation, the government cannot promise various reliefs to the general public. The government has decided to remove the letters of vehicle number plates that denotes the province. A relevant gazette notification was presented in Parliament today. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that when a motor vehicle of one province is transferred to another province, the owner has to apply for a new number plate. When the relevant letters are removed, the vehicle can be registered in any other province without changing the letters. Under the new system, any vehicle can be used in any corner of the island with the same number plate.
Former His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit has levelled several allegations against him at a ceremony to mark the 5th anniversary of Easter Sunday attack recently. He stressed that he vehemently rejects these allegations. Issuing a media release, former President Rajapaksa stresses that people should properly observe that allegations are constantly levelled against him regarding the Easter Sunday attacks. He further stressed that following the receipt of Presidential Commission report on the Easter Sunday attacks, he did not phone to the Cardinal and tell that it was difficult to implement the recommendations of the Presidential Commission since he would have to arrest persons very close to him and to ban their organizations. The former president further said that the relevant Presidential Commission's report was presented to him on the 1st of February in 2021. Later, he had studied the report and directed to the relevant sections. In his media release, former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa further says that copies of the Commission report were handed over to the Mahanayaka Theras, the Cardinal and the Catholic bishops by the 1st of March 2021. Therefore, the allegation that the report was not quickly handed over to Cardinal is not correct. He said Thereby, all these wrong allegations would be vehemently rejected. He also rejects the allegation that he transferred the director of the CID and remanded him to sabotage the investigations of Easter Sunday attacks. Another allegation levelled by the Cardinal is that he failed to take legal action against the culprits of the Easter Sunday bombers. Former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa stresses that the general public should well observe that he is constantly accused of the Easter Sunday suicide bombings.
In more local news, Duminda Dissanayake was appointed as the acting General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party today by the Politburo of the party. The SLFP Politburo met at the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute this evening. Acting General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party parliamentarian Duminda Dissanayake said that due to the current injunction order against the SLFP Politburo, only 10 members are able to come to this meeting. Out of them, 6 members participated in this meeting today. One member has informed that he cannot take part in the meeting. Former Acting General Secretary has been banned by the courts yesterday. He said that accordingly, the SLFP Politburo unanimously appointed him as the acting General Secretary. He further said that former Chairman Maithripala Sirisena has been taking arbitrary decisions against many senior party members. He has removed district organizers, electoral organizers. He added that the party headquarters is now open for all SLFP members at present. At this meeting, journalists questioned over the letter of demand sent by former President Maithripala Sirisena to Minister Mahinda Amaravira. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that although he had said that his character was blemished, people questioned whether he had a character to save. He did not turn up for any meeting of the SLFP so far. Minister Mahinda Amaravira added that the party members can witness what would happen in the next court hearing.
The youth who went missing after jumping over the Udamaluwa of Adams Peak has been found yesterday. Our correspondent says that a group of estate workers have seen him and later handed over to the Nallataniya police station. The 33-year-old youth named Dinesh Hemanthas had come on a Sripada pilgrimage on the 19th of this month from the Suryavava area in Hambantota. It was recorded in a CCTV camera that the youth jumped over the security fence of the Sripada Udamaluwa. Later, a group of workers of Murray Estate had informed the Nallataniya police that a person was laying down near a stream close to the Sripada Forest Reserve. The youth was seriously dehydrated and was admitted to the hospital. The youth said that he is not aware of what happened to him on the top of the Adams Peak. The hospital authorities said that there is no serious injuries in his body except a slight scratch on the foot.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe inaugurated the Nihonbashi Japanese restaurant situated within the premises of Colombo Port City yesterday. The first of its kind, Nihonbashi was originally established in 1995 at Galle Terrace by renowned chef Darshan Munidasa and has since been a prominent destination for both local and international patrons seeking authentic Japanese cuisine over the past 29 years. During the opening ceremony, the president took a tour of the restaurant, engaging in friendly conversation with the attendees. Notable figures such as President's senior advisor on national security and chief of staff to the president Sagala Ratnayaka were also present to mark this occasion.
A Chinese diplomatic delegation headed by Central Committee member of the Chinese Communist Party and Deputy Minister Sung Haiyan met the founder of SLPP, Basil Rajapaksa, and several party members yesterday at the party headquarters in Nelumavata. National organizer of the SLPP, Namal Rajapaksa, and several party representatives were also present at this meeting. Sung Haiyan, it is obvious that the Sri Lanka Potujana Perumana has rebuilt its political power and personality within a very short period after the recent crisis situation. She added that it is an unexpected level rapid revitalization of the party. She attributed this development mainly to the party organization network ranging from national level to grassroots level under the leadership of Basil Rajapaksa.
And in more local news, the head office of Sahasi Investment Company was declared open today at the Maganaguma Mahamadura premises in Battaramulla under the patronage of Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena. This company has been established to carry out management of expressway network that is operating under the Ministry of Transport and Highways. This express network and its assets are scheduled to be handed over to the Sahasi Investment Company in the future. Operations of this company will commence as a full state body. Addressing the gathering, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that Sahasi Investment Company has been set up to provide more efficient, fruitful and commercial service by separating it from the Road Development Authority. This commences under the national program to restructure the balance sheet of the Road Development Authority.
The Sundara Nuwareliya Salalihini Vasantaya program concludes today. Many visitors have arrived in the Nuwareli area since the opening of this spring festival. Up to now, they experienced many innovative events during this period.
Sundara Nuwareliya Salalihini Vasantaya Spring Fest 2024 Sri Lanka Insurance Life Samga
2024 වර්ෂයේ සුන්දර නුවරඑළිය සැලලිහිණි වසන්තය අප්‍රේල් 1 වෙනිදා ආරම්භ කළා. ඉතා සාර්ථකව
Sundara Nuwareliya Salalihini Vasantaya commenced from the 1st of April and ended today very successfully. A large number of local and foreign tourists exceeding the expected amounts arrived in Nuwareliya to experience this event. Chairman and the staff of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation have contributed largely to make this event a success. The organisers expressed their gratitude to all parties, including state institutions and Sri Lanka Police, for their support extended to this endeavour.
Funeral of Railway General Manager late HMKW Bandara was held at the Barala Cemetery this evening. He passed away due to a sudden heart failure on the 23rd of this month. He was the 32nd General Manager of Sri Lanka Railway. He joined the department in 1996 as an Assistant District Engineer. During his 27 years of service, he has rendered a valuable service holding various portfolios in the Sri Lanka Railway. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena and a large number of politicians were present at the funeral. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena expressed his deepest sympathy towards the death of the late General Manager on behalf of the President, Prime Minister and the government. And we will be back with some foreign news stories right after this short break. Stay tuned.
We now move on to news overseas. Ukraine had begun to use longer-range ballistic missiles against Russia that were secretly provided by the United States, American officials confirmed. Officials stated they were not announced publicly to maintain Ukraine's operational security. They have already been used at least once to strike Russian targets in occupied Crimea. More American weaponry is expected to be sent imminently after President Joe Biden signed off yesterday a new package of economic and military support for Ukraine worth $60 billion. A State Department spokesman confirmed yesterday that the missiles that have already been quietly provided were the longer-range version of the Army tactical missile systems.
Netmika Madhushani Herat won the silver medal from the women's triple jump event at the Asian Under-20 athletic tournament held in Dubai. She recorded a length of 13.01 meters at this event. This is her personal achievement. She is a student of the Nannapuram Mahavidyalaya in Bibila. Netmika's coach is Krishanta Kumara. She is scheduled to take part in a long jump event today as well. And that was a look at your news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira together with Sharifa Tahir, wishing you a pleasant evening. Take care.